My final project can get accessed through my main blog. It's a journalistic kind of autobiography piece on Mark Whitman, and I titled it The Journey Through Basketball. It's about his life. He was a pretty distinguished basketball player at Linfield. He's in the Hall of Fame. He currently holds the record in career points scored. The website is set up in a way that as you scroll down, you just kind of go through his story. It first starts off with like a biography about him. I thought it'd be important to first start off like why he's such an important figure and like kind of show you that he has had an interesting life to kind of engage people to want to continue to look at his life further. And as you go through, these are all pictures that were scanned either from the archives of the Linfield Review, which was previously known as the News, or he personally sent me or found in old yearbooks. And it's sectioned off in chapters. So this is part 1, chapter 1, Raising Confidence. And if you click on it, you get the featured image here. And if you go down, you get the audio clip of him talking about his journey and him entering college in this post, and a brief text portion that kind of describes what is going on in the clip. It either describes and kind of goes over it, or it also adds more information that wouldn't have like made the audio clip more fluid. But you just keep going down, and the pictures are large. That's how the website put them up there. And you go into chapter 2, Coach Wilson. Some of these will have an audio and just a photo, like this one, because I chose not to add text because I thought the audio kind of did it the most justice, that it didn't need the third component in it. Some of them don't have audio at all just because it would have been a boring audio of him just kind of telling like a data point after a data point of his life, or B, it wouldn't have been flowed very well together. This is a picture he personally sent me. And then it kind of just goes through his entire life. And this is kind of the student section at the time. I feel like this website would be dispersed mostly by linkage. Like you post it to Facebook, you get it out on other websites, you share it to a bunch of people, and that's how you draw people to this thing. But I think it's interesting to display his story rather than one giant article. I think it's cool to split it up in this way also, so you can kind of spend some time with the audio component and with the text. If you like want to read the articles closer, you can. And then at the very end of his whole story, on the next page, all the way down here, I added a gallery because I had a lot of leftover images that I thought would be interesting toward other people if they wanted to see them. There's also images that were in the previous posts, so people can just like spend more time and look at them more closely. I tried my best to tie what he's saying, I guess you cannot fully click on that, to what he's saying to kind of what's going on in the picture, but it's hard because like I'm going off of just what has already been. But I tried to do a decent job. There's one here where he's kind of talking about how he started to like not really like basketball for a while, even though that doesn't fully relate to the picture. It's kind of showing that like they did end their season not as anticipated, so I just try to have some cohesion in what was going on. And a lot of the images I just kind of guessed with the captions and tried my best to capture what was kind of happening at the moment. I thought that they didn't need a bunch of text. If it had an audio component, then I thought it wouldn't make a lot of sense to then have like even more text with it. Just kind of like a brief blurb about what's happening within the audio component. It may add also more information or what's not. I also think it's important to note that the story's kind of set up with like him in college, like right when he's entering his freshman year. Briefly puts you through parts of it, his relationship with the coach, or him kind of talking about his competitiveness, and this is all about the atmosphere and what it was like. And after college, or sorry, after the part about his college, we go into his after college part. I chose to kind of do this to keep more of a flow to the beast because during our interview, that's kind of how it flowed, so I wanted to keep it. And I thought it'd be kind of weird to suddenly jump to him before college, so I chose to add the before, like his early life at the end of the story. And I also chose to not have a huge text component with it just because I had decent audio clips I was able to pull together, and I just separated them into 3 parts, kind of him starting to love basketball, how he chose Linfield, and kind of like his confidence high school and what he was going into Linfield with basketball wise. And then the gallery's at the end, of course, so like people could just refer to all the images.